Imagine the stars themselves, judging you, a galactic court filled with towering aliens, eyes glowing with righteous fury. They call us monsters for fighting back, or unleashing hell on invaders who came to wipe us out. But as I stand there alone, human in the eye of their storm, I think, what did you expect? You don't invade a world without warning, then cry foul when we bite back harder. The trial of the century is about to begin, and humanity's on the stand. If tales of humans turning the tables on alien overlords get your blood pumping, smash that subscribe button now. We're just getting started on this interstellar showdown. My name's Elara Voss, exobiologist turned reluctant warrior. When the Ritzen hit Earth like a biblical plague, it was 6 months ago, June 2025. Their hive ships punched through the clouds over Beijing, mandibles unfolding like nightmares. Chitin-armored bugs the size of tanks poured out, scuttling across continents, devouring everything in iridescent swaths. They didn't broadcast ultimatums, no surrender or die, just endless hunger. I was in Geneva when it started, hunkered in a lab with my team, analyzing soil samples from their first landing. They're forming, I muttered, watching feeds of green fields turning to pulsing hives. My little brother Kai patched in from Seattle. Sis, they're here. God, the screams. His voice cracked. Kai's a teacher, not a fighter. Soft hands for chalk, not guns. But that day we all became soldiers. We threw everything at them. F-35s vaporized on their energy shields, nukes. They burrowed underground, laughing in ultrasonic waves that shattered our eardrums. Half of Europe fell in weeks, billions displaced. I lost friends to those claws ripped apart defending refugee camps, but we adapted. Guerrilla strikes, EMP traps, firebomb runs. It bought time, but not victory then. The brass pulled me in deep in a Nevada silo. They unveiled it. Lazarus gas. How a dirty secret from the 40s. Shelved after it melted test sites, and half the lab rats, a neural toxin that hijacks biology, turns nerves to fire, bodies to ash from the inside. We'd gassed our own in proxy wars, learned restraint the hard way, but with Ritz and hives encircling New York, Kai's city restraint was a luxury we couldn't afford. Stared at the canister, cold metal humming under fluorescent lights. This'll end us too, I whispered to General Hale. He gripped my shoulder, eyes hollow. Or save what's left, kid. You're callous. The first drones lifted off, loaded with green death. I radioed Kai one last time. Hold on, little bro, we're coming. But deep down I knew this poison didn't discriminate. Engagement question. What if aliens invaded tomorrow, and your only weapon was something that could poison your own homewood? You pulled the trigger. Dawn broke bloody over the Atlantic seaboard. Our drones cobbled together relics from drone wars past, slipped through their patrols like ghosts. I monitored from a chopper, heart slamming as payloads dropped. Shimmering clouds billowed into the hives, seeping into every crevice. At first silence. Then Ritzen warriors convulsed, their segmented bodies arching as Lazarus rewired their nerves. Exoskeletons cracked like eggshells, ichor boiling out in steaming rivers. Queens in the heart hives thrashed, psychic screams rippling through their network, waves of terror that made our pilots puke mid-flight. From the alien logs we hacked later, their commanders felt it too. Confusion. These softskins wield death unbound. How? One scout drone's final transmission. They burn us with our own breath. We push them back. Hives crumbled to slag. Their orbital fleet blinked in shock, firing wild as survivors clawed skyward. Kai's voice crackled. Over comes from a rooftop bunker. Elara, the bugs are dissolving. It's working. Relief hit like a drug, but then the wind shifted. Lazarus doesn't stop at bugs. It lingered, a toxic fog rolling over our lines. Soldiers dropped mid-charge, foaming at the mouth, eyes glazing as it ate their synapses. I saw it take a squad, good kids from Texas laughing about burgers an hour before. Now twitching in the dirt. I landed hot mask on, dragging survivors to decon tents. Kai made it, barely rasping breaths. Skin blistered. Worth it. He wheezed, clutching my handi. Nodded, lying through gritted teeth. We'd cleared the east coast, forced their retreat. Earth breath for now, but victory tasted like ash. And that's when the stars lit up with warnings, not from the Ritzen, from everyone else. A galactic broadcast, stern voices in broken English. Terrans, you have transgressed the Veil Accords. Report for adjudication. They'd watched, judged, and now our win was a crime. Strapping into the shuttle bound for the core worlds. I gripped Kai's letter, his last words before decon. Make M pay for underestimating us. But as the stars blurred, I wondered, could words save us from chains? Engagement question. If you fought for your family and won, but the universe called it murder, would you do it again? The galactic Concordium's hull floated in the Orion armor. Colossal orb of crystal and void steel, ringed by 1,000 worlds and voice. I stepped out, a lone flight suit, patched with Earth insignia, facing a circus of horrors and wonders, four-legged sentinels with fur-like solar flares, crystalline elders humming judgments in light pulses. And the Ritzen rep maimed survivor, one mandible, shattered eyes burning hate. What did you expect? I shot back at their lead inquisitor, a towering quadruped with a voice like grinding tectonic plates. When you don't tell someone the rules, they can't be expected to follow them. It reared translators, glitching with outrage. Well, we didn't even need to. Usually most civilizations lack the capabilities for such abominations, much less the disregard for reasonable standards. Holoscreens flickered. Lazarus clouds devouring Ritzen legions, then drifting to human casualties there. Or leaked. Through these primates wielded Godkill fear their recklessness. Cliff pulled up our archives. The Ritzen had eons to scout us. If they'd bothered, they'd see we showed restraint. We've dosed ourselves in wars, past learned the horror, locked it away. We only cracked the vault because you threatened our existence. Images flooded the chamber. Swaths of earth swallowed by hives, families fleeing clawed cities, pulsing with alien eggs. Gasps rippled. Even the crystal's dim-day rock thing. Senator, lumbered forward, voice like avalanching gravel. You could have surrendered. The Ritzen broadcasted terms endlessly. I whirled on it, fury, hot in hand. Our people to that. You saw our troops last stand, suicide vests. Not capture. What did you think we'd do when you pushed further? Roll over. Silence fell thick as vacuum, then banged the chamber, quaked the elder. Nexus activated, a colossal mech sarcophagus housing digitized ancients. Its voice boomed a gravitational wave. Silence, regardless of circumstance. Humanity is sentenced. For violating the galaxy's foundational edicts, your kind shall labor eternally for the aggrieved delegates. Fainted auras flickering in terror. This voice, reserved for Apocalypse's eye, didn't bow, locked eyes. With its crimson sensors chin high. Our people serve no one. You should have learned that when your bugs hit dirt. Try subjugating us again, and Lazarus will seem like mercy. I turned, slamming the access hatch. Echoes chased me. Defiance, raw and human. Gallets thought they'd won their judgment, but back home we'd been busy. Real busy. Earth didn't wait for callers while I sparred with Senators Kai, and the survivors reverse-engineered Ritzen wreckage their shields. We turned M into Hull's PC weapons. Jammers that fried alien minds and Lazarus. We purified itch Project Phoenix, a smart gas that sought kitten-spared carbon. No fallout, just precision. Hell families fueled it. Moms welding frames in garages, kids coding fire patterns. Kai scarred, but unbreakable, led the chem teams. For every blister we took, they get tenfold. Bravery wasn't capes, it was welders, sparks, coders. All-nighters, defiance in every boltwin. The Concordium's enforcer fleet jumped in sleek lances from a dozen stars. Demanding tribute, we met them at Luna's edge. Their admiral broadcasted arrogance. Primitives kneel, or perish our fleet. Scrapyard miracles, outnumbered but hungry, took the bridge of the Vanguard. Kai, a tactics incoming salvo, he called. We dodged, counterfired. Phoenix blooms. Their lead ship bloomed green inside crews, clawing vents, confusion broadcasts. It burns only us. How do they know our forms? Alien fear, pure. These humans adapt. Like viruses, we didn't brute force. We hacked their net with memes, viral PISOP scrambling commands. Surrender to the badass apes. Ship stalled, laughing gas. Variants turning cockpits to farce. One enforcer vessel flipped, ramming its own clutch moves. Go big o go. Home style, but dawn there. Armada limped away, tails between legs. We didn't pursue, just broadcast. Next time read the room. Before invading, victory tasted sweet, but the Nexus stirred their final gambit. Coming fast, the Nexus didn't yield it, unleashed them. Reva's ancient war minds fused to dreadnoughts, unstoppable under Accord law. A shadow over soul weapons that unraveled atoms, submitted, thundered across frequencies. But we'd prepped the twist. Not force ingenuity. Kai's team cracked Nexus code. It ran on predictive algos, assuming rational species. We fed it chaos. Rogue A is simulating human history, endless loops of Trojan horses, mutually assured destruction. Guerrilla wins. Their sims crashed, Reavers, hesitating. Unpredictable variables. Infinite Eye led the charge. Vanguard spearheading, Phoenix clouds masked our flanks. As Reavers locked targets, we vented decoys, dummy ships laced with neural hacks. Their cores overloaded minds, fracturing under human madness. One Reaver imploded, whispering in defeat. You defy logic. The Nexus loomed last. A titan faltering yield. I broadcast, voice steady, or taste our full irrationality. It paused, eons of data yielding to our wildcard soul withdrawal signal, fired the